This is Umar Ahmed for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. We're in London here, press conference for Shields and Marshall, finally on September the 10th. As a boxing fan, Dean, you must be excited for this one.
Yeah. But you know what? Boxing, two women fighting. Taylor and Serrano set the bar very high. We only can, as boxing fans, we only can dream if this lives up to that. I think it does because we've got two excellent pedigree fighters, double Olympian, multi-weight champion. You've got Savannah Marshall, very skillful boxing, Tyson silky, relaxed boxing, smooth style. We've got the dominant force of Clarissa Shields, who's gone into MMA and boxing and dominated in respective fields somewhat. So you know what I mean, we're into a good fight, tough, explosive, and I'd like to see that on September the 10th. A competitive fight, where she's gonna obviously try and break Savannah Marshall's will and walk forward and do what she does.
We'll find out September 10th live on Sky Sports at the O2. I saw you at JOYCE Christian Hammer. What did you make of Joe's win?
The Juggernaut. The Juggernaut's a mean machine, man. Trust me, the Juggernaut is a mean machine. Hell of a chin. And just a wrecking ball, just a real wrecking ball. It takes too much shots though, to be honest, but I mean, nevertheless, he's got the chin to do it, so if he's got the chin to do it, let him continue doing what he's doing, you know what I mean? He'll continue to build and grow and do his thing. But, with the super elite boys, you're not going to be able to take them kind of shots. But, like I said, I think he's got the best chin in the heavyweight business at the minute, so let him do his thing.
Better than yours?
Yeah, pretty much, for them fucking kind of shots.
Yeah, Christian Hammer was landing some big, clean right hands.
Peaches, was landing some absolute peaches. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, look, does he take them shots by Dillian Whyte's left hook, overhand, body shots? I don't know. Dillian punches a lot harder than Christian Hammer, but at the same time, he has got a chin durable enough and a tank durable enough to do 12 hard slugging rounds. So let's see. But I mean, there's talk of him and Dillian, there's talk of Dubois and Dillian, I don't know. It's up to Dillian and his team. Hopefully they take the best fight that puts them in the best position. But Joe Joyce is a very, very hard night's work for anyone, any elite fighter.
We know Joe Joyce is going to be out September 24th, one fight before his shot at Usyk Joshua if they call for the WBO next. So, I mean, I don't know when Dillian's looking to get out, but
I think I've heard it's roughly the same kind of time. So there's potential that is that fight. You know what I mean? And he's going to face the Juggernaut, the relentless Juggernaut. You know what I mean? You heard the rap tune. The Juggernaut, mess with the Juggernaut. I don't even know. Son. A little mad song, you get me?
Yeah, that's by Eyes, the one you're referring to. So we know Dillian's a free agent. I'm sure he's talking to Boxer, to Matchroom, to Queensbury. But yeah, you mentioned two fights there with Dubois and Joyce. I mean, yeah, there'd be cracking British fights, either of them Dillian's involved in. Yeah, but obviously it's got to be financially viable and rewarding that. So let's see what happens. Let's actually. You good, yeah? Yeah, man. Ambrose Mendy.
Two dudes. What's going on here?
We're just having a chat about Dillian and
boxing, the sport we love.
Yeah.
Dillian needs to watch some Nigel Benn videos because that's the heritage. That's where it's built from.
Yeah.
Not all this fancy, dictate and your X points in front and this, that, and the other. Dillian was made for war. Perhaps better than most.
What you got to look at is Tyson Fury it's not as easy to bring that war because of the footwork and movement. So I think you had to set a trap and a plan to offset. So you kind of more bamboozled him into that. I think the wrestling played a part because that slowed him down a little bit, where he was able to let off some body shots. But listen, Tyson Fury is the best of our generation, man. We just got to give him his credit, and he's a big old unit. They say a big good and beats a small good in any given day of the week. So it's just one of them.
This is a fact. If Tyson Fury was black, we'd be saying he's the greatest heavyweight in history. We have to put it like no. I've lived the era.
Yeah, but that's as what everyone's different. So I'm saying he's the greatest of our generation. Yeah. I'm not sure I would say of greatest of all time because you had Ali. Ali done a whole different. I'm not sure Tyson Fury would beat Lennox in his prime. That's just me. I don't think he would. So then I'm not going to say he's the greatest of all time because Lennox was the Dan Dada and they didn't give Lennox the credit he deserved when he was here.
Well, from a personal point of view, I brought Lennox to England, but let me tell you this. There's a guy Riddick Bowe, who believed that he had Lennox's number all the time. And when he fought Holyfield, the first fight, he was possibly greater than the generation before him. based on size, etc., etc., etc. But where we are now, in this country, Britain controls heavyweight boxing.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
And going on here, and with Dillian, I honestly believe if Dillian was, because remember in boxing you were allowed one blow, one foul. You know, you get away with it, just bow to the referee and everything else. But Dillian had that something that was going to top most people. It is unbelievable. Now, if in a comeback, he's just got to go for war. Forget about that fancy Dan business and just go for war. That's exactly. Yeah. I spoke to him a couple of days ago, and it's interesting. It's interesting because we want to get him back into the ring as soon as possible.
Yeah, of course. I think he's looking to do that anyway. If it's financially viable and that the right offers coming and the right fights coming, because a lot of the top boys are taken up. And then if you're looking at maybe a Parker rematch, speaking to Adam, I don't know if it's financially viable as Dillian might like.
You have to make it viable.
Yeah, but I don't know if they're prepared to dig that deep in their pockets. JOYCE or Daniel Dubois, them fights potentially because he's a WBO mandatory, and then Daniel Dubois because he's the WBA regular. So it's all about who wants to go in their pocket and put the banner up and say, listen, we're going to ride with you, Dillian. We're going to put this money up. We're going to get this fight done. And I think that's why he's talking to all parties. So let's see what happens, man. And I'm sure him and his team will make the right decision when time comes. But there's good fights for him. But you're right. I think when he fights someone like those guys, I think he will bring that devastating war and thunder coming forward. Obviously, that was a big old bruiser in Tyson Fury, a big old lummox. He was a big old man. And a lot of the stuff Dillian was trying to do wasn't working. He's very good at smothering and negating stuff. So, you know what I mean?
There's some people you can box and there's other people you can just think, let's just have it. Let's just have weight differential, whatever. Yeah. Tyson Fury, as you've said quite rightly, needs to be applauded for what he really is. He's the best fighter of his generation.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then there's the others. And what I'm saying here is, funny things happen in boxing. One win, 2 wins, and then suddenly you're faced with a choice. Do you want to fight Tyson Fury again? Do you want to? Well, that's a decision you have to make, otherwise you swerve it.
Yeah.
But it's about finances. And where Dillian is at the present moment, he's probably got 2-3 fights maximum left in his career.
He's got to make the right choices now.
That's where it is. So you're going to look after him.
I'll give him the advice, but it's down to
whether
him
he takes it or not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's it. And that's the key.
Yeah. There's a saying in Wolof. I come from West Africa, Gambia.
Yeah.
A man cannot eat nyankatan bira budufus. And that means a man cannot eat white rice without soup every day. Good luck. Take care.
Thank you very much, Ambrose. Thank you.
Knowledgeable input, Mr. Mendes. Take care.
Well, that was a different interview. I liked it, though.
Different with the Gambia soup and rice.
But the bottom line is Dillian's talking to everyone, so we look forward to his future. Just before we close off, come in. Bring this young man in. Dean, take the mic. Introduce this man to the IFL viewers.
This is the revered talent in the amateur ranks, Jack Daly. He's just won the European Haringey title a few weeks back. He's multi-national champion. He's won about 3 ABAs, roughly around 8 London titles, Southern Counties, and multiple other things. But he's at least 11-time national champion, done great stuff as an amateur. Won gold in the Europeans, and now is about to take on the pro game. And all of his stuff, mind you, we'll just say for people to understand, this is all at elite level, or none of his bouts were at junior level. So it's quite a feat as well for someone who's 25 to do such a great thing in the amateur boxing. Had over 50 fights. But let Jack kind of take it away and get himself.
Tell us a little about yourself, mate.
Jack Daly. I think Dean pretty much summed up everything there. But currently ranked number 2 in the country. Took over the amateur game. Looking to make my way into the pros. Take over the pro game. It's my vision. I've seen it, I've worked towards it, I accomplished it in the amateurs, I'm about to do the same in the pros.
Accomplished fighter as you described, and he's a good speaker as well. So you could have a product on your hands there, Dean.
No, so that's the main. Yeah, exactly. I feel like for him, you got to build your brand. And right now, what we're going to do with him, we're going to get him on the black box shows. We're going to take our time, build him, get him, understanding being pro'd up as well. Amateurs one thing, being pro'd is a bit more settled, it's a bit more of a slower pace. Get those wins under his belt, and then hopefully he'll be up on the stage by next year. Because, like I said, the pedigree's there. But right now we'll try and get him to 3, 4, 5-0, and hopefully come and start having conversations with the right people to see where the future lies for Jack Daly. But as a company, Black Box Global, and we're going to try and do our best to navigate that path for him and have a good position for him to continue that success what he had as an amateur and become a seasoned professional. He sparred all the best: Chris Billam-Smith, Isaac Chamberlain. I think the list goes on. He probably knows a bit more.
Top tens.
Ellis Zorro.
We sparred light heavyweight Kara Tuma. Very good fighter. Junior Olympian. Sparred the likes of, like he said, Chris Billam-Smith, Isaac. Top 10 right now. I fit into that. I fit into that category. I'm not far off it. I'll be there in the future. I see myself there, and I will get there.
Yeah, so he handles himself well. That's the thing, like when you spar, it's different, because these guys could be training and stuff. But as long as you're not too far out of your depth, you have the confidence going in as a pro, saying, I don't feel out of my depth in this kind of company. So, listen, we're going to get this done, and then we'll probably hope to see Jack out more towards the end of the year once he sorts out all his medicals and everything. And you guys tune in, check him out on the Instagram. And I forgot to mention, the Black Box show, September the 3rd, is here now. So check out that. We're going to be doing big things on that show. Virgo season is up. So check out the Black Box page, man.
Jack, great to get you on the channel. I'm sure it's the first time on many. And Dean, always appreciate your time. I'll see you at the O2 for Pulev and Chisora this week.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Welcome, Team Everlast, to the Team Everlast Fitness app. Download the Everlast Fitness app and find your greatness within.